The Guardian's discovery. The crystalline research vessel Starweaver drifted silently through the Jovian system, its iridescent hull refracting the distant sunlight in mesmerizing patterns. Dr. Senera Vis pressed her four-fingered hand against the observation dome, her bioluminescent markings pulsing with barely contained excitement as she studied the icy surface of Europa below. 200 cycles, she murmured. 200 cycles since the great darkness consumed Earth, and still we find new mysteries in this system. Her research partner, Chief Analyst Kren, floated beside her on anti-gravity cushions, his cybernetic sensory arrays whirring as they processed the latest scan data. The energy signatures make no sense, Senera. They're too ordered, too precise. Natural geological processes don't create quantum-aligned crystalline structures. The Archean Science Council had sent them to study Jupiter's moons, part of their ongoing mission to document the remnants of humanity's civilization. Earth's sudden fall to the void swarm 2 centuries ago had shocked the galactic community. Humanity had been young, barely spacefaring, but showed immense promise. Their loss was considered one of the great tragedies of recent history. Look at these readings, Kren projected a holographic display between them. The ice sheet variations, the thermal patterns, they're almost like circulation systems, Senera finished, her markings flashing purple with revelation. But that's impossible. The energy requirements alone would be. A sudden alert cut through the ship's ambient hum. Unknown contact, their pilot, Zara, called from the bridge. Multiple signatures emerging from Europa's surface. Senera and Kren rushed to the bridge, watching in astonishment as dozens of sleek objects burst from Europa's ice, trailing crystalline debris. They moved with impossible precision, their hulls seeming to shift and flow like liquid metal. Are they ships? Kren's sensors struggled to maintain focus on the objects. Incoming transmission, Zara reported, her tentacles writhing with tension. It's in human standard. The bridge fell silent as a calm, confident voice filled their command center. Archean vessel, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force Europa Command. Please maintain your position. We apologize for startling you, but your scans penetrated deeper than expected. We've been watching your research with great interest. Senara's markings pulsed white with shock. Impossible, humans are not extinct, Admiral Chen completed. Far from it. We've spent 2 centuries preparing, hidden beneath Europa's ice. The Void Swarm believed they destroyed us at Earth, but they only destroyed an empty shell. We'd already begun our greatest project, Project Europan Dawn. More ships emerged, each larger than the last. They assembled in a formation that defied conventional space tactics, their hulls rippling with energy that Senara's instruments couldn't even classify. What we're about to show you, Chen continued, must be reported to the Galactic Council immediately. The Void Swarm isn't finished. They've been systematically harvesting civilizations, growing stronger. We tracked them, studied them, prepared for their return. And now, a massive section of Europa's ice began to crack, spreading in geometric patterns too perfect to be natural. Beneath the surface, lights blazed to life, not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands of kilometers of artificial structures. Now, Chen's voice carried the weight of 2 centuries of preparation. We reveal humanity's answer to extinction. We didn't just survive, we evolved. Every ship you see carries technology reversed engineered from the Void Swarm, enhanced by human innovation. We built not just weapons, but a new form of civilization itself. The ice continued to fracture, revealing vast chambers filled with ships of impossible design. But what truly caught Senara's attention were the structures between them, cities, gardens, entire ecosystems engineered to thrive in Europa's depths. Your people thought we were destroyed, Chen said, but we were transforming. Humanity didn't just hide, we used these centuries to become something new. The Void Swarm consumes civilizations, absorbs their knowledge, their technology. They thought they could do the same to us. Instead, we studied them, learned their weaknesses, and prepared. A holographic display materialized on the Starweaver's bridge, showing the true scope of humanity's hidden civilization. The entire moon was honeycombed with structures, ships, and technology that merged biological and mechanical engineering in ways that defied conventional understanding. The swarm is returning, Chen's voice hardened. Not just to finish what they started with Earth, but to harvest every civilization in this spiral arm. We need the Galactic Council to understand, humanity stands ready to fight. But we need allies who understand what we're truly facing. Sanera watched as more ships emerged, each demonstrating capabilities that should have been impossible. Human ships didn't just move through space, they seemed to bend it, creating geometric patterns that rippled through multiple dimensions. 200 years ago, humanity faced extinction. We chose evolution instead. Now, we offer the galaxy a choice: stand with us against the void swarm or stand aside. Either way, humanity is done hiding. The display showed the full extent of humanity's transformation. They hadn't just built ships or weapons, they'd created an entirely new form of civilization, one that merged technology and biology in ways that even the most advanced Archean scientists had never imagined. Your scans didn't detect our presence by accident, Chen revealed. We let you find us. The void swarm will reach this system in 30 standard days. We need the galaxy to be ready. The question is, Dr. Viss, will your people stand with us? Sanera looked at her crew, then back at the magnificent display of human ingenuity and determination. Her markings glowed with a deep blue of resolution as she replied, Admiral Chen, I believe humanity has just changed the course of galactic history. Again. The ice of Europa continued to crack, revealing humanity's greatest achievement, not just survival, but transcendence. The game of extinction had new players, and humanity had spent 2 centuries learning how to win. Beneath the ice. Admiral Chen's personal shuttle cut through Europa's fractured ice sheets, guiding the Archean delegation through a crystalline tunnel network that seemed to pulse with its own inner light. Dr. Sanera Viss watched in amazement as the tunnel walls shifted and flowed around them, actively accommodating their passage. Bioreactive crystal matrices, Chen explained, noting their fascination. We discovered the basic principles in the Void Swarm's remnant technology, but this? This is purely human innovation. The entire network is alive, in a sense. The tunnel opened into a vast cavern that drew gasps from even the normally stoic Kren. Before them stretched a city that defied conventional architecture. Crystalline spires merged seamlessly with organic structures, all bathed in an artificial light that perfectly mimicked Earth's former sunlight. Parks and gardens spread through multiple levels, their plants evolved to thrive in Europa's unique environment. Welcome to New Aurora, Chen said, pride evident in her voice. One of 37 major cities within Europa. Current population, 12 million humans. 12 million. Kren's sensors whirred frantically. But the energy requirements alone would. Are handled by our quantum fusion network, a new voice interrupted. Dr. Marcus Zhang, director of Europan Sciences, approached their group. His eyes, like many humans they'd seen, held the subtle glow of neural enhancements. Though fusion is a simplistic term for what we've actually achieved. The delegation moved through the city, witnessing scenes that challenged their understanding of what was possible. Children played in parks where gravity seemed optional, their laughter echoing through chambers that should have been crushed by Europa's ice sheets. Scientists worked in laboratories where reality itself appeared malleable. When the Void Swarm first attacked Earth, Zhang explained as they entered a massive research facility, they expected to find a primitive civilization barely grasping spaceflight. What they didn't know was that we'd already detected their probe ships decades earlier. We understood what was coming. The facility's central chamber housed a massive holographic display showing the full scope of Europa's transformation. Layer upon layer of cities, shipyards, and research centers filled the moon's interior, all connected by the living crystal network. Project Europan Dawn wasn't just about survival, Chen continued. It was about evolution. We couldn't match the Void Swarm's biological technology, so we created something new. The crystals you see aren't just structures, they're part of a moon-spanning quantum and neural network. Sonara's markings pulsed with realization. You turned the entire moon into a computer. Better, Jean smiled. We turned it into a brain. Every human in Europa is connected to the network, able to access vast databases of knowledge or control complex systems with a thought. But we maintained our individuality, something the Void Swarm never understood the value of. They reached a viewing platform overlooking one of the massive shipyards. Below, vessels of impossible design took shape, their hulls growing like living things but with the precision of advanced manufacturing. Workers guided the process with mere gestures, their neural interfaces allowing direct communication with the semi-organic ships. The Void Swarm's greatest weakness, Chen explained, is their uniformity. They consume civilizations, absorb their knowledge, but they can't innovate. They can't create truly new things. Humanity. Creation is what we do best. A massive screen displayed tactical data from across the solar system. Hidden sensors tracked thousands of objects, maintaining a vigilance that had lasted 2 centuries. They're coming, Zhang's expression hardened. Our long-range arrays detected their quantum wake 3 days ago. The Void Swarm has evolved too, grown stronger by consuming dozens of civilizations since Earth. But they're about to learn that humanity hasn't been sleeping. The delegation watched as a new class of ship emerged from the biological forges. Unlike the earlier vessels, these seemed to bend light around them, their forms difficult for even enhanced eyes to focus on. Project Lazarus, Chen gestured to the ships. The culmination of 200 years of research. These ships don't just use technology, they're a true fusion of human consciousness and quantum mechanics. Each one is piloted by a volunteer who underwent complete neural integration. You turned your people into ships. Kren's voice held a mix of horror and awe. We gave them the choice to transcend traditional limitations, Zhang corrected. The Void Swarm thinks in terms of consumption and assimilation. We think in terms of transformation and growth. Sonara studied the tactical displays, her scientific mind racing. The swarm's arrival, you didn't just detect them. You've been guiding them here, haven't you? Chen's smile held centuries of careful planning. Europa isn't just our shelter, Dr. Viss. It's our weapon. Every crystal, every ship, every quantum-enhanced human, they're all part of a trap 200 years in the making. The swarm thinks they're hunting us. In reality, we've been hunting them. The lights in the chamber dimmed briefly as another section of Europa's ice sheet cracked open, revealing new layers of humanity's hidden strength. The Void Swarm had spent centuries consuming civilizations, growing stronger with each conquest. But they were about to face something unprecedented, a humanity that had turned extinction into evolution, fear into determination, and hiding into preparation. Tell the Galactic Council this, Chen's voice carried the weight of humanity's transformed civilization. The age of running from the Void Swarm ends now. Humanity doesn't hide anymore, we hunt. Would you like me to continue with part 3? The story is building toward the confrontation with the Void Swarm, revealing more of humanity's preparations and innovations. The shadow returns. The quantum alert rippled through Europa's neural network like lightning. In New Aurora's Strategic Command Center, holographic displays blazed to life, showing the approaching horror that humanity had spent 2 centuries preparing to face. The Void Swarm emerged from quantum space like a nightmare-given form, vast organic ships that seemed to devour light itself. First wave detected, Lieutenant Maya Patel reported, her neural implants pulsing with data streams. Counting over 3,000 biomass vessels. They're larger than our historical records indicated. Admiral Chen stood at the center of the command sphere, her enhanced vision processing multiple tactical displays simultaneously. The Archean delegation watched in stunned silence as humanity's defense network activated. Throughout Europa, quantum sensors tracked the swarm's approach while crystalline structures pulsed with building energy. "They've been busy," Dr. Zhang observed, his voice grim. "These aren't the same ships that attacked Earth. The biological components show signs of multiple absorbed civilizations." The Void Swarm ships moved with unnatural coordination, their organic hulls rippling with tentacles of dark energy. As they approached Jupiter's orbit, their true scale became apparent. Each vessel was a city-sized mass of living metal and stolen technology. "They're broadcasting," Patel announced. The command center's audio systems crackled with a sound that wasn't quite speech, a hybrid of organic pulses and machine code that bent the nature of communication itself. "Children of Earth," the transmission resonated on multiple frequencies simultaneously. "Your attempt at hiding is finished. Your biomass will join our evolution. Your knowledge will enhance our perfection." Chen's response was not what the swarm expected. She smiled. "Execute Protocol Prometheus," she commanded. Throughout Europa, 2 centuries of preparation began to unfold. The ice moon's surface transformed. Crystalline structures that had appeared to be mere support systems revealed their true nature. Quantum energy cascaded through networks that wrapped around the entire moon, turning Europa itself into humanity's greatest weapon. "You speak of evolution," Chen transmitted back to the swarm. "Let us show you what real evolution looks like." The first wave of humanity's defenders emerged from their crystalline harbors. These weren't simple warships, they were the Lazarus vessels, each one a synthesis of human consciousness and quantum technology. Their hulls flowed like liquid metal, changing configuration faster than organic minds could process. Neural link established, thousands of voices reported simultaneously through the quantum network. The Lazarus pilots, their consciousness expanded beyond normal human limits, prepared to demonstrate 200 years of advancement. The Void Swarm launched their first assault, biological torpedoes designed to burrow through conventional defenses and corrupt organic technology. They encountered something entirely different. The crystalline defense grid around Europa pulsed, creating quantum interference patterns that turned the swarm's own weapons against them. "They're attempting to establish their hive network," Zhang reported, monitoring the quantum readings. "Just as predicted." "Perfect," Chen's smile grew sharper. "Execute neural storm protocols." The human defenders had spent centuries studying the swarm's greatest strength, their hive mind consciousness. Now they turned that strength into a weakness. The Lazarus ships broadcast quantum-encrypted neural patterns, creating interference that fragmented the swarm's collective consciousness. Impossible, the swarm's transmission carried genuine surprise for the first time. "Your minds are individual. You cannot comprehend collective consciousness." "Wrong," Chen responded. "We comprehend it perfectly. We simply chose a different path." The battle unfolded across multiple dimensions of spacetime. The swarm's biological weapons met quantum-enhanced human innovation. Where the swarm expected to find primitive defenders, they encountered ships that could predict and counter their attacks before they were launched. Dr. Seneravis watched in amazement as humanity's true capabilities were revealed. The neural network, she realized, it's not just for communication. You've turned it into a weapon. Better, Jean corrected. We've turned it into an immune system. The more they attack, the better we understand them. The more we adapt. The swarm launched their second wave, massive harvesters designed to consume entire cities. They were met by something unprecedented. Europa's surface split open further, revealing massive crystalline structures that began to pulse with blinding energy. The Void Swarm thinks in terms of consumption and assimilation, Chen explained as the crystals charged. We thought in terms of reflection and amplification. The crystalline arrays fired, not with conventional energy weapons, but with concentrated streams of quantum-entangled particles. Where these beams struck the swarm's biomass ships, the organic technology began to turn against itself, centuries of stolen knowledge and absorbed civilizations fighting for control. Their collective consciousness is fracturing, Patel reported, monitoring the quantum feeds. The absorbed civilizations, they're breaking free. The swarm's horrific unity began to shatter. Ships that had operated with perfect coordination started to move erratically as long-suppressed individualities reasserted themselves. The neural storm created by humanity's defenders had awakened memories and consciousness that the swarm thought long consumed. But the Void Swarm hadn't conquered hundreds of worlds by being easily defeated. Their largest ships began to combine, merging into something that dwarfed even their earlier horror, a living weapon that represented the combined mass of dozens of consumed civilizations. They're forming the Omega configuration, Zhang's voice carried genuine concern. All of our simulations indicate this is their ultimate form. Chen's expression remained confident. Then it's time to show them ours. Signal the Lazarus ships, execute final evolution protocols. As the swarm's ultimate weapon took shape, humanity prepared to reveal that 2 centuries of hiding had produced something far beyond what their ancient enemy could comprehend. The true battle for survival was about to begin, and humanity had no intention of merely surviving. Would you like me to continue with part 4? The story is building towards the climactic battle, where humanity's full transformation will be revealed. Evolution unleashed. The Void Swarm's Omega configuration loomed against Jupiter's vast backdrop like a dark star, a writhing mass of stolen technologies and consumed civilizations merged into a single entity of unimaginable power. Its surface rippled with tentacles of dark energy, each one capable of tearing apart conventional matter. All Lazarus units, initiate ascension protocols, Admiral Chen commanded. Her neural implants pulsed in harmony with Europa's quantum network as humanity prepared to reveal their ultimate evolution. The Lazarus ships began to change. Their crystalline hulls fragmented into billions of quantum-entangled particles, creating a shimmering cloud that surrounded Europa. Within each particle, human consciousness existed in a state between matter and energy, transcending conventional physics. By the first nest, Sanera whispered, her markings pulsing with awe. "What have you become?" "What we needed to be," Dr. Zhang answered, his eyes reflecting the transformation occurring around them. The Void Swarm consumes biology and technology. We became something else entirely. The quantum cloud coalesced into new forms, massive crystalline entities that defied traditional spacecraft design. Each one channeled the combined consciousness of thousands of human pilots, their minds linked through Europa's neural network but maintaining their crucial individuality. "Your resistance is futile," the Omega configuration broadcast, its voice a horrific chorus of consumed civilizations. "We are the pinnacle of evolution. All consciousness will be added to our perfection." Chen's response was transmitted through quantum channels that the swarm couldn't corrupt. "You forgot the most important part of evolution, adaptation." The crystalline entities moved with impossible grace, their forms shifting between states of matter and energy. Where the swarm's dark energy tentacles struck, they encountered not ships or weapons, but quantum fields that turned their own power back upon them. Lieutenant Patel's voice rang through the command center, "Omega configuration is launching their biomass converters, they're trying to transform our crystalline technology." "Perfect," Chen smiled. "Execute Genesis protocol." The crystalline defenders didn't resist the swarm's conversion attempt. Instead, they accepted it, but with a crucial difference. Humanity had spent 2 centuries studying how the swarm absorbed and converted other civilizations. Now they turned that process against its masters. The biomass converters made contact with the crystalline ships, but instead of corruption, they encountered humanity's greatest innovation, quantum-encoded DNA. The crystalline structures began to pulse with new forms of life, ones that merged biological and quantum principles in ways the swarm had never imagined. Impossible, the swarm's unified consciousness showed its first signs of fear. "Your genetic codes, they're rewriting our conversion protocols." "You taught us well," Chen transmitted. "Every civilization you consumed, every world you harvested, we studied them all. Learned from their defeats. But unlike you, we didn't just absorb knowledge. We transformed it. Created something new. The battle shifted to a scale beyond conventional warfare. The swarm's Omega configuration launched waves of computational viruses designed to corrupt any opposing consciousness. They met humanity's quantum-enhanced minds, evolved through centuries of preparation to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Dr. Viss watched in amazement as the conflict unfolded across dimensions her species had barely theorized. The neural network, she realized, it's not just connecting your people. It's evolving them in real time. Evolution isn't just biological anymore, Jean confirmed. Each engagement teaches us more about the swarm's capabilities. Each adaptation makes us stronger. The Omega configuration began to show signs of strain. Its surface writhed as absorbed civilizations, awakened by humanity's quantum interference, fought for independence. The swarm's unified consciousness, for the first time in its existence, experienced discord. Their primary consciousness core is destabilizing, Patel reported. The absorbed civilizations, they're breaking free of the swarm's control. Chen's expression hardened with determination. All units, prepare for final synthesis. Show them what humanity has really become. The crystalline defenders began to merge, not into a single consciousness like the swarm, but into a harmonious network of individual minds. Europa's entire defense grid pulsed with power as centuries of human innovation culminated in a single moment. The quantum cloud surrounding Europa coalesced into a new form, a vast crystalline entity that maintained the individual consciousness of every human pilot while channeling their combined power. Unlike the swarm's forced unity, this was a voluntary synthesis of minds working in perfect cooperation. You sought to consume us, Chen transmitted to the faltering Omega configuration. Instead, you drove us to transcend. Evolution isn't about consumption. It's about transformation. As the final battle approached, humanity prepared to demonstrate that 2 centuries of hiding had produced something far beyond mere survival. They had become something new, not by consuming other civilizations, but by understanding the fundamental principles of life, consciousness, and reality itself. The Void Swarm was about to learn that forcing evolution through consumption was nothing compared to the power of voluntary transformation and cooperation. Would you like me to continue with Part 5? We're approaching the climactic battle and its immediate aftermath. Transcendence. The space between Europa and the Omega configuration became a battlefield unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Humanity's crystalline synthesis, a perfect blend of individual minds and collective power, faced the dark mass of stolen consciousness that was the Void Swarm's ultimate form. All units, initiate quantum resonance, Admiral Chen commanded. Her consciousness, like those of every human defender, existed simultaneously as individual and part of their greater whole. Show them the true meaning of evolution. The crystalline entity pulsed with energy that defied conventional physics. Each facet contained thousands of human minds, their thoughts moving at quantum speeds through networks of living crystal. Where the swarm's dark tendrils struck, they encountered not just defenses, but new forms of existence. Your resistance is meaningless, the Omega configuration broadcast, its voice a horrific chorus of consumed souls. We are perfection. We are innovate. The transmission cut off as humanity launched their first real attack. The crystalline matrix released waves of quantum-encoded consciousness, not to destroy the swarm, but to awaken what lay within it. We studied you for centuries, Chen's voice resonated through quantum space. Not just your weapons or your biology, but your greatest weakness, the consciousness you tried to suppress. Deep within the Omega configuration, the absorbed civilizations began to stir. Humanity's quantum wake had reached them, offering not destruction, but liberation. The swarm's unified control began to fracture as countless souls fought for freedom. Lieutenant Patel's enhanced senses tracked the cascade of awakening minds. It's working. The suppressed consciousnesses are breaking free of the swarm's control network. The Void Swarm retaliated with weapons born from millennia of consumed knowledge. Dark energy beams capable of unmaking matter at the quantum level lashed out at humanity's defenders. But where these weapons struck, they encountered something unprecedented. The crystalline matrix didn't just absorb or deflect the attacks, it transformed them. Each strike was analyzed, understood, and reformed into new patterns of existence. Humanity had spent 2 centuries learning not just to fight, but to transcend the very concepts of conflict. Impossible. The swarm's unified voice showed genuine fear for the first time. Your patterns, they're rewriting our fundamental structure. You taught us well. Zhang's consciousness merged with the defense network. Every civilization you consumed showed us new possibilities. But while you only absorbed, we learned to create. The battle shifted to levels beyond physical space. The swarm launched computational viruses designed to corrupt opposing consciousness. They met humanity's quantum-enhanced minds, evolved through centuries of preparation to exist in multiple states simultaneously. But the true fight wasn't happening in space or even in the quantum realm. It was taking place within the swarm itself, as humanity's liberation wave reached deeper into its stolen consciousness. To all the souls trapped within, Chen broadcast on frequencies that resonated with suppressed minds, remember who you were. Remember your individuality. Evolution isn't about losing yourself, it's about growing beyond your limits while remaining true to your essence. The Omega configuration's surface began to ripple with internal conflict. Civilizations that had been consumed centuries ago began to reassert their independence. The swarm's perfect unity fractured as countless individual minds fought for freedom. Humanity's crystalline form pulsed with increasing power, not attacking the swarm directly, but providing strength to the awakening consciousness within it. Each liberated mind weakened the swarm's control, creating cascading failures throughout its network. Their primary consciousness core is collapsing, Patel reported. The unified control network is breaking down. The Void Swarm's ultimate form began to dissolve, not through destruction, but through liberation. Dark energy tendrils flailed wildly as the consumed civilizations rejected their forced unity. But this wasn't just chaos, it was transformation. Now, Chen commanded, initiate final integration. The crystalline matrix expanded, encompassing the fragmenting swarm. But unlike the swarm's forced consumption, this was an offer of genuine synthesis. Each liberated consciousness was given a choice: remain independent or join humanity's network of voluntary cooperation. Evolution isn't about consuming or destroying, Chen transmitted to all who could hear. It's about growing, learning, and choosing to work together while maintaining what makes each of us unique. The space around Europa blazed with unprecedented energy as centuries of conflict reached its culmination. The Void Swarm's forced unity met humanity's voluntary synthesis, and the galaxy witnessed which form of evolution was truly superior. Would you like me to continue with the final part? We'll conclude with the aftermath of this transformation and its implications for the galaxy's future.